test. Hello, everyone, and welcome this afternoon to the Monday afternoon edition of Chamber Chats. We're actually just working on some equipment here that hopefully will take care of all of our problems. Now, that may seem a little far fetched, but that's kind of the world that we live in. So, to make sure that we're actually here, we're going to pause for a real message. Stay tuned.
Mach Resources, with offices in Winoka, Oklahoma, is an independent upstream oil and gas company focused on the acquisition, development, and production of high-return, low-cost oil and natural gas projects. As responsible stewards of natural resources, Mach Resources understands the pivotal role energy has in building sustainable economic growth, social progress, and improving quality of life locally and globally. In addition to providing ethically sourced energy, Mach Resources is committed to delivering scalable, reliable, and affordable energy to all communities, to equip all people with the modern energy resources they need to thrive. To learn more about Mach Resources, email them info@machnr, that's machnr.com, or find them online at machnr.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It is 12:31 or 2, depending on which of our two clocks that you're looking at. This is Chamber Chats, and sometimes we have it, usually we have it on Monday at noon. And if we don't, then we have it Wednesday at noon. But today, we have it at 12:32. As near as I can tell, Jody, here's the deal. We went to Woodward to help with the Woodward Elks Parade. And so there were like us, K101, and some streaming and so on. So 2 or 3 engineers were plugging here, plugging there, and then we just loaded it up and brought it home. And now it's kind of, are you a fishing person at all? We call this having everything all tackle boxed when it goes like this. So you open the lid of the tackle box and boom, everything that you've shoved it. Yeah, that's kind of what we're working through here. But I'm telling you, show business is glamorous. Here we are. I'm handing you the microphone, and here we go.
Ben, I'm proud of you. You didn't quit. You just kept on going. You got it. Like you're like, nope, test. And you know what? You got it. We're live here, at least on Facebook we are, because I see it happening on Facebook. And see, it's even like coming up. I'm watching it as we're talking, and the words are coming up here.
That's pretty impressive, really, right there. That's impressive.
AI, it is something, isn't it? But I know that that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is chamber chats. What's going on in the chamber, right? Well, today is Monday, and you know what that means. That means that our chamber newsletter is coming out today, and so as I talk about each of these events, if you're a visual person and not an audio person, That's okay because you can see it all by just allowing it to come to your inbox. If you are not signed up yet for the Chamber newsletter, you need to get signed up. Not only get signed up, but then go ahead and open that email when it comes out. So alvaok.net, you can get signed up for the Chamber newsletter. Which gives out all of the events that we know about, unless we forget something, but we try to be pretty thorough. So get signed up for the newsletter. It comes out every Monday around 4 o'clock. And then open that up and read it so you know what's going on. The first thing that you are going to see is not actually happening this week, but it's happening next week. We are highlighting this because next week it is the Chamber's 90th birthday. It is a birthday party. We're having a party in the park down at Hatfield Park on June 24th, next Wednesday. We're doing free hot dogs, cake, music, games, and great conversations. So make sure and bring your lawn chair and come hang out with us and celebrate our 90th birthday. That is the Chamber's 90th birthday. So pretty cool. And then afterwards, we are doing a free swim. It's a night swim at the Corey Washburn Memorial Swimming Pool at 8 p.m. So have you ever served on the Chamber board in the last 90 years? We want you there. Has your business been a part of the Chamber in the past 90 years, past or present? Come be a part. Show up. Have you ever shopped at a Chamber business? I'm guessing you probably have. If you've gone through the McDonald's drive-thru, you've even shopped at a Chamber business. So come show up to our 90th birthday party. That is happening next week, but there's lots of stuff happening prior to that. This Monday, starting June 14th, that was yesterday, through the 19th, which is Saturday, you can stop by Rialto and enter to win a Toy Story themed gift basket provided by Wisdom Heritage Bank. So make sure that you go check out Rialto, and Toy Story 5 is coming out on Friday at Rialto. You know, Ben, we are pretty blessed to have the theater that we have in our small town. There are many towns that have lost their theater, but right here in Alva, we have 3 screens, and they are so good to get all of the latest showings up at Rialto. So make sure that you go and support them. And then, of course, last week, it, I don't know, sounded like I was really hungry or something because I mentioned all the snacks at Rialto. So they do have all the snacks. Make sure you pop in and grab a snack or a drink. You know, they have the best drinks in happy hour drinks all day long. And then, or you can pop by next door and get your protein drink or your energy drink right there at Showtime. If you are suffering from grief, this is something that is going on right here in Alva. There is a grief share. And this is put on by Charles Wells and Steve Ham. They are pastors at Charles is the pastor at the Nazarene Church. Steve is the pastor at the Church of Christ. And they have a grief share. And the next group begins today, I guess this evening, from 6 to 7:30. And this is an online group, but there is information about that coming out in the newsletter today. You can scan the QR code that will be in the newsletter and sign up to be a part of Grief Share. And it's a friendly, caring group of people who will walk alongside you through one of life's most difficult experiences. You don't have to face the pain of grief alone. So know that that is available, and that is something that is happening right here locally. Tuesday, it's election day. Get out and vote. Your vote, your voice vote. Now, in the newsletter, we have a link to Oklahoma Decides. If you have not looked over the candidates and what there is available, make sure that you check that out so that you go in to your precinct prepared. I actually already voted. I did early voting on Saturday.
So have you looked through? So you looked through the whole thing. So how many choices did you have?
Oh gosh, I mean, I could look on my phone. I took a picture of my ballot. There were several different choices available. If you go to this Oklahoma Decides, it's okdecides.com. If you go on there, it shows all of the state offices, all of just everything. So you go on there and check it out. You can actually do your research from there. They have links on there as well. And then know that locally we are also, well, in Woods County, and if you're in Alva School District, you're going to be voting on that proposal with the Alva School District. And then in Woods County, you are voting on the judge. So there's 3 candidates for that as well. And so in addition to all of the state and district offices that have come up. And so remember, in this election, you are voting per party. So, if you're an independent, there's not really a whole lot to vote on. I'm not positive, but if you're, it really is, you are voting for the one candidate that will be on the ballot in November.
This might be the most difficult election that I have ever seen since I started paying attention to elections. That it is, you really have to do some deep digging for research. I mean, I don't know who you believe. Let me give you a quick example. Coming out of a sports thing on one of the Oklahoma City stations, they had 2 local avails. So you go to a break and you see Ford nationally and you see McDonald's nationally, and then there's 2 availabilities that are sold to local businesses. So I'm watching the first avail is Gettner Drummond, who has done awful terrible things to the people, followed by a commercial for Gettner Drummond, who is standing beside President Trump, who thinks that he's the most wonderful person in the world. And that's, I'm not saying anything about Gettner Drummond. I'm just saying those 2 commercials ran diametrically opposed to each other. And I guess the people that put them together thought theirs was the truth. I'm not sure.
The smear campaigns this year have been heavy. That's what we have noticed that. And oh my goodness, I saw someone post on Facebook, I don't know how I can receive all of these political mailings, yet I can't receive the letter that was sent to me from someone in Texas. There have been so many political mailings, and I don't know. My opinion, this is my opinion. I feel like maybe that might be a waste of funding because I see those in the mail, and there are so many, and I don't read through every one. They typically go to file 13, and I'm just thinking the amount of money that has been spent on mailings this year. So many.
Mailings, let alone printing. I mean, go to your local printer, if you have a local printer, and price cardstock 5-color printing and fictitiously order a couple of thousand and see what the cost is. I mean, those are really well put together, those mailings are.
Yeah. So I feel like that might be a little bit, I don't know. But also, my texts have been inundated. I don't know if you've been inundated with political texts or not, but I certainly have. And I voted on Saturday, and they're still sending them out today.
My last 3 texts, just as we sat down here, Ted Cruz has something urgent that he hasn't told me yet. Sarah from the blank blank party is reminding me that tomorrow is the day to vote. And then my local, one of my local people, well, they're not a local people, they're a state people, want me to know that they're really the person that has helped Northwest Oklahoma. That's, that's the last three since we've sat down here.
And I reply to every one of those, stop. Because that is what is supposed to get you off of the mailing list. So we'll see if they pick back up around, September, October for that November election once that happens. So anyway, the point is go ahead, get out and vote, but do your research. And you can do that by going to OK Decides and just check out all of those things. Summer Art Camp is happening. Moving on from the voting, Summer Art Camp is happening at Graceful Arts Gallery and Studios. This week, it's the Intermediate Art Camp, June 16th through 18th. It is $50 per student, and you can get signed up by calling Graceful Arts. Tomorrow, this is a really cool thing that Northwest Technology Center puts on for $50. You can go through the 6 types of Working Genius. This is an assessment. The Working Genius assessment is 20% personality and 80% productivity. People who understand their genius show up to work happier and more effective, and they play well with others. Working Genius certified facilitators are equipped to analyze and apply results to help individuals and teams leverage Working Genius to be more innovative, strategic, and effective. This is something that Scott Brown is a certified Working Genius facilitator, and he is going to be your guide through the 6 types of Working Genius. This is put on by Northwest Technology Center, so call them. I don't have their local number. I thought that I had it right here. But anyway, give them a call. You can look it up online, look up their number, or go to northwesttech.edu, and that will give you the information that you need. But this is a great thing if you work with other people, if you live with other people. It's going to be great for everybody. Just helping you to understand yourself and others. I was planning to go to this one, but I am not going to be able to. Megan is actually planning to be there tomorrow. It lasts 4 hours, starts at 8:30 a.m. This is going to be something that would be very beneficial for you. We look at Wednesday. It's the Gulp and Gallop. That, as we talked about last week, is a summer food program for all children under 18. The pickup is at the Ranger Football Stadium. You go by, you pick up your box of food, and you go on your way. They can sign you up right there, or you can scan the QR code that is either on the Woods County Coalition page on Facebook or in the newsletter and get signed up for the Gulp and Gallop Summer Food Program. They took a picture of one of the boxes of the food that those kids receive, and it looks pretty good. Looks to be a pretty good box. So make sure that you go by and pick one of those up. It is not per any... you don't have to fill anything out other than the sign-up sheet. It is not per income level or anything like that. Just it's for anyone, and every little bit helps. So go pick up a food box for your kiddo under 18. On Thursday at Graceful Arts, put on by Steve Ham, who is, as I said earlier, the pastor at the Church of Christ, they have a community Bible study, and so you can check that out at Graceful Arts starting at 6 p.m. It's from 6 to 7 every Thursday. Go check that out. And on Friday, we have our final legislative eggs and issues. That's our community coffee with the legislators. So that is at 8 a.m. and it is going to be at the Alva City offices. So make sure and come by to the community coffee at the City of Alva and hear what the legislators have to say. That'll be interesting because it'll be right after voting on Tuesday. So come and hear what they have to say that day. That's happening on Friday. And of course, remember on Friday, it's Juneteenth. So banks and post offices will be closed. That evening, though, Alva Beer Co. is open and they will have Travis Linville playing. Now, he was supposed to play a couple months ago, and or maybe it was last month, but it got postponed because there were storms, and I think he's out of Tulsa maybe, and they decided to keep him safe, that they would postpone that. But he's back. He's going to be there at Alva Beer Co. on June 19th. I said that. June 19th. Is that Saturday or Friday? I don't know. Yes. So let's. Yeah. I'm like, that is Friday, right? Yeah. I started questioning myself as I looked at it. I was like, wait a second. Okay. So then, farmers market is happening on Tuesdays and Saturdays now. For Alva's Farmers Market is open. That is on Flynn Street, and it starts at 7:30 a.m. on Saturday. And banquet for Alva Chamber Christmas. Lots of, oh, hey, and let me tell you this, sponsor a rocket. 4th of July is coming up, and the Rotary is putting on the annual fireworks. So the 4th of July event is happening on the 4th of July. So they put off the fireworks at the Alva Rec, and they are letting people sponsor a rocket. So if you want to do that, they have that information right there. We have grabbed their information and put it in our newsletter, so you can check that out. I think that's about all. There could be more, but I think that's it.
I guess that's enough. I mean, that's quite a bit. If you did all of those things, you'd need to lay down afterward.
Right. I mean, as we always say, if you're bored, it's your own fault. Get out, go do something. It's, oh my gosh, like yesterday was beautiful. Like the temps were great. I don't know what it looks like. I haven't looked at the weather, but enjoy. Like the skies have been beautiful. Just get outside and enjoy. Of course, I'm a summertime girl. So I don't mind getting outside in the summer. It's the wintertime that has me just staying indoors. I love outside in the summer. So, yeah, get outside and enjoy. And there is, and then of course, take your time to rest as needed. We actually had some rest this last weekend, and it was nice. And when I say rest, I mean, I had time to stay home and like get stuff done around my house that needed to be done. So,
So you're raising what, 3 boys, 4 boys? I mean, you got a load of boys, I know. So there was probably a couple little things to be picked up, maybe.
oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, talking about picking things up. I actually asked my husband this morning. I'm planning to be gone for a few days. So in doing so, I asked my husband, I said, can you make sure that he picks up this stuff? He's like, I asked him to pick up his stuff. I said, I know, but you need to have the follow through with it. Like, make sure that he picks it up, please. So I've already raised 2 boys, and, they're, they're, they're doing their thing, however they keep their house, that's cool. They're out of our house now, so that's their choice on the way that they choose to do that. But our younger one, I'm like, listen, if we can just all do 15 minutes, let's do a 15-minute pickup. We're just all going to pick up for 15 minutes. That's what we used to do when our older boys were younger. And before Breaker was, born, it was like, okay, guys, we're doing a 15-minute pickup. Everybody in the house does a 15-minute pickup. That's an hour's worth of work in just 15 minutes, right? Just if you'll just stay on task. And that's what a couple weeks ago we were picking up trash outside. It was like 5 minutes. Do you have 5 minutes? That's what I asked. I asked Breaker, do you have 5 minutes to help me? And he's like, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to pick up trash for 5 minutes. That's all I need you for is 5 minutes. We'll put on the timer. Concentrated picking up trash for 5 minutes. That's all we're doing. And he's like, okay, I can give you 5 minutes. And then that 5 minute timer went off. He's like, what, how much time do we have left? It was before the timer went off. How much time do we have left? I was like, we're not looking at the time. We're just picking up. Keep picking up. Keep picking up. And he's like, wow, we got a lot done in 5 minutes. I was like, we did get a lot done in 5 minutes, right? Because it was concentrated 5 minutes of time. Do you have 5 more minutes? I mean, I don't really want to give it to you. And I was like, would you though? Would you give me 5 more minutes? Yeah, I guess. And so we each got 5 minutes of time. We each gave 10 minutes, to picking up trash. And so we had 20 minutes of picking up trash, and we got a lot done during that time. So that's what I've just asked him. Hey, can you just spend 5 minutes outside, concentrated 5 minutes, just picking up these things? That's all I need, 5 minutes. A lot can get done in 5 minutes. I think we underestimate what we can get done in 5 minutes time, as long as it's concentrated.
It's the focus that's necessary, right?
Focus.
Focus is necessary.
Intentional focus.
Yes, yes. Thank you for Chamber Chats. I get mixed up on the calendar. Is your meeting next Monday, or are we good?
We had our meeting this month, so
We did?
yeah, we had our meeting last week for our chamber board, so we should be good for the next let's see, 22nd, 29th, 6th. Yep, for the next 3 weeks we should be good.
Woo! So let's just focus on that.
That's right, we will focus.
Okay. So listen to what she says and do as she says, not as she does, and meet us back here next Monday. And I'll try to have this thing put together enough that we can start at noon on Monday. It's good to have goals, right?
Hey, and it's okay. Here, let me tell you this. It was okay that you were running behind, because I was also running behind because I had people in the visitor center today. So do you wonder, do people actually stop in the visitor center? Yes. Let me tell you about these people that just stopped in. They were on their way through. They didn't want to take the big interstates and all of that, but they were taking, U.S. highways and stuff like that, going, or state highways. I guess that's where they were. They were taking those state highways. I say that. 64 is a U.S. highway. So anyway, they were coming back from New Mexico, going home to Alabama. And it was a couple that they were like, they saw visitor center, so they stopped in. And I said, hi, how can I help you? And they're like, we saw visitor center, so we figured we'd come in. What do you want to tell us? And so I got to tell them all about Alva and all about this area. And we have that nearly every week. We have at least one group popping in to see what's happening in this area. And so it's always fun to get to tell them about all the things that we love. And so it's important to, again, focus on the good, focus on all of the things that we have right here. And that's what I was telling them. We have so many cool geographical things that are just like, the caves, the sand dunes, the salt crystal digging, the National Wildlife Refuge right here in our area. And when is the last time that you have actually been out to one of those? We locally tend to not, go do those things that are right here in our backyard. So I just want to encourage you to go out and do those things too.
So now you've been encouraged and the weather's still good. Get out and do those things. That's Jody for Chamber Chats. And I will switch you back best I can to what we refer to as regular programming. Awfully kind of you to join us. Join us again when we have election coverage. It's an interesting election. Interesting is such an interesting word, but it is. Lots of lots of decisions to be made or messed up on. So do yourself a favor and honestly and truly do some research on just who in the world it is that you're going to vote for, and why. And I guess you don't have to tell us why necessarily. Just get her done.